Hello, and welcome to the Legal Environment for HR. I'm Adele Abrams, and I'm going to be your instructor this semester. I look forward to getting to know all of you and to working with you to answer any questions you have. We're in a very interesting time right now. We're in what we call in Washington, D.C., where I'm based, the silly season. We're going into the presidential and also the congressional elections. And there's a lot on the line. A lot can change in the environment for HR, for safety and health, wage and hour, overtime, labor law, certainly under the National Labor Relations Board, and so much more. Right now, we have the Biden administration scrambling to the finish line to put some new rules in place. And so some of the material that's in our textbook is going to be outdated potentially by the end of this semester. Already in January of 2024, we've had a new Department of Labor independent contractor rule. It's a final rule. It is going to be taking effect here any second, literally. And so that is something you're going to want to look at, just as one example of how things have changed between when your textbook was written and where the operations are today that we're operating under. Another example, there's an OSHA rule that is also over at the Office of Management and Budget for review as a final rule that would allow in a non-union workplace 2 or more workers to designate a union representative from outside the company to serve as their walk-around representative during OSHA inspections. There's a concept called salting, and many in the employer community are concerned about that. Many on the worker community are embracing this as a way of perhaps getting more effective safety and health, more attention to detail, and perhaps getting union representation in there. And so these issues, whether it's how you define somebody, whether they are an independent contractor or what we call a W-2 employee who is entitled to all kinds of benefits, including FICA contributions, workers' comp coverage, unemployment benefits, and many other state benefits in terms of paid leave and things of that nature, versus contractors who get none of those things. This is very much in the Department of Labor's crosshairs as well with the new independent contractor rule. And we are talking in the first week here about contractor classification. So this is a little bit of a preview. I do want to note some of the other videos throughout the course are a bit older. I look much younger now, obviously. But on those, the law hasn't changed. And to the extent that things do change, I will update those videos during the course of our semester here. But there's a lot in flux. This is, again, a very interesting time to live in. As they say, that's a Chinese curse and a blessing, I suppose. And also keep an eye on the announcements. This is going to be very critical. Sometimes it's hard for me in the middle of modules to add materials, so I will do those in the announcements. Another thing, we have written problems each week. We're not looking, I'm the imperial we here, I'm not looking for a treatise on these questions. Usually a paragraph or 2 should be sufficient, but you're going to want to read the cases. Each of the problems has a case notation after the hypothetical. You will need to find those cases online. And if you look in the research materials and the resources that are posted, there are some free law places that you can find. Perhaps you work where you have a subscription to LexisNexis or to Westlaw. You can certainly find the materials there. But if you run into a roadblock finding the case links, let me know that, and I'm happy to help. I will post the answers to these written problems after they are due and after I've seen that most people have submitted the answers, because these are things you may want to review for the midterm quiz. Yes, I did say that word, and also the final exam. Don't sweat it. Most people do great on both of those tests. We also have a research paper that is going to be part of this course. And again, not looking for a treatise. Should be about 10 pages, but 10 pages of content. Don't fall into the trap of counting your cover page, the back page that has your references as part of the meat of the paper. Also, as you'll see in the written instructions, don't use Wikipedia as a reference. Don't use our textbook as a primary reference, or for your research papers. And also, chat, all of the artificial intelligence. Please do not use those. Don't make me go there, because there will be consequences if you are posting plagiarized papers or ones that are not your work product. But I think we're going to have a great semester here. We have a discussion board as well. And I will note, because people always ask this, the written problems you'll get a weekly grade on. The discussion board, it's really just an aggregated grade at the end of the semester for that portion of your grade. There are rubrics also posted on the website for the course, so you should be able to find the information you need there. This is a pretty quick course for the amount of material we cover. It's a survey course. I'm an attorney. I practice employment and occupational health and safety law. I don't expect you to be employment attorneys when you come out of this, but it's to give you kind of the 15,000-foot view of all of the things that, as business majors, as HR practitioners, you need to know about to keep your company from getting into trouble. I call it 7 statutes in 7 weeks. We actually cover more than 7 statutes, though. We will cover constitutional law. We will cover contract law. We will cover tort law. We will cover remedies. Each of those were a separate course for me in law school. So again, you're getting the lightning round version of a lot of this. But I also am not going to be holding you to the same standards as I would somebody taking a law school class in employment law, because there is so much more. This is going to scratch the surface. I hope it excites your curiosity. And I also want to make sure that you realize you're looking at these through the prism of being a worker yourself. It's paramount that you understand what your rights are, as well as your responsibilities as you move into a managerial role, if you're not in one already. And I am cognizant of the fact that most of the students who take this are working a full-time job, and are taking this perhaps on a part-time basis or an evening basis. I feel your pain. I went to law school at night, 4 years at hard labor while I was working full-time. So, I try to be pretty flexible and responsive. Last thing, perhaps, is I do post PowerPoints, which are summaries of each chapter's reading. They are not a substitute for reading the chapters in the first instance, but I think by keeping those, when it's time to review for the quiz, when it's time to review for the final exam, it'll save you a lot of effort in going back through those. And of course, all of the tests, by nature of the course, are going to be open book, but they will have time limits on them. And if anybody does need an accommodation under the ADA, I know the school does have an office for that. I've had that come up sometimes where people need untimed exams. Please let me know. It's my job here to help you succeed, and to give you all the information you need to tackle employment, HR, and labor law issues in your careers and personally in your lives. So I hope you have a wonderful semester. Again, I look forward to getting to know each of you, and be safe, be happy, be healthy, and have a wonderful semester. Thanks.